Yeah. A very good comparison. Great quarterback, great coaches, great skill players, outstanding technique. Those guys have won 29 games straight. They're doing a lot of great things at Clemson. They're doing a great job of attracting great recruits and developing them. A lot of similarities. Well, that it's very special. It's very special for us to drive down the interstate yesterday with a great motorcade. I know our players were looking forward to that, and ever since we knew that the national championship was going to be in New Orleans, it was a goal of ours to win every game to earn the right to get here. And now we're here, but we got to do something about it. No, I couldn't have read it. No, there's no way. And especially to have the football team that we have, the coaching staff that we have, and have the type of players that we have and the camaraderie we have at this time, I think that there's no way I couldn't have written a better script. No way. I think it's a combination of senior leadership, a combination of being prepared, our coaches. We led by Joe. Joe's a very serious guy. We've got some leaders on defense that have really come along. Rashard Lawrence, we talked about this in his living room during recruiting. Those guys were very, very focused on getting here, and you got to give them the credit. Yeah. Yeah, it fires our team up, and Joe's like a linebacker out there. And, I think it all started last year. He took some hits against Georgia, 2 seasons ago. But the time that he got hit against UCF and he got back up and went down 14-3, I think that kind of sent a message to our football team who he is. Say it again, man. It's always going to be about LSU, but you know what? We have pride in being in the SEC. Obviously, I know a lot of people, I've been told, have been pulling for us because we, in the SEC, I think it is the greatest conference in the United States. A lot of great players, and we're honored to be here. To be in a national championship game, you have to beat a lot of good teams in the SEC to get here, and then go to the SEC championship and beat another good team. So we feel that we've earned our right to be here. We feel that we are always representing LSU, but it's a great to be a member of the SEC. Well, his quick release, his reads, the plays that they give him. That he can make a decision on the line of scrimmage whether to hand it off, whether to throw it, the short, easy throws. And then they're going to take shots with those big receivers. He gets a one-on-one. He's going to give the ball down the field. And then it shows you the type of championship quarterback he is, that he started extending plays with his feet. I thought he took the Ohio State game in his own hands to win that football game. And you can see his determination, his grit, and his courage, just like you see in our quarterback. That's part of it. You want guys coming after you, coach. It means you're doing something well. And I believe in Joe. I believe in Scott Woodward, and Scott put the plan in place a long time ago. I do believe that we almost finalized with the plan. I do believe that Joe's going to be a Tiger. But, as in coaching in football, anything can happen. But I do believe that the talks that we have with Joe are very, very positive, and he's going to be at LSU. Yes. Yeah, I think it's a combination. I think they have contributed to the offense with the outstanding skill, but I think this offense has put them in positions to showcase their talents. So we know that we have juniors that are going to leave, but that's a good thing for us. That's a good thing for us in recruiting. Guys want to come to LSU. They want to get developed, and they want to be high draft picks. And when they get to the NFL, they want to have a lot of success. So I think that it shows that we can take a guy like Justin Jefferson as a 2-star athlete he could have been a 5-star as far as it mattered to us because we thought he was going to be a phenomenal player, and him develop into the type of young man he is. So we got 5-star athletes in Jamar Chase. We got 2-star, 3-star, 4-star. It don't matter how you got here. I think guys are getting put in position to make plays in space and develop. Everything. You know, everything that we've done up to now is good, but it's not great. We want to be great. And to finish the season strong with a win is our goal. And obviously that is going to be a tough task. But then we look at it, you know, we didn't look at it, hey, man, we got to go down there and win the national championship. It's going to be bigger than ever. We got to play well enough to beat Clemson. And that's been our focus. And we've done that every week. So we wasn't going to change that, not make it bigger than it is now. After the game, depending on the results, we get to look at all that stuff. Yeah. I do believe it's a combination of their great athletes that they have, but he always has them in position to make plays. I mean, the guy's a phenomenal game day caller, especially his blitzes. He knows how to blitz protections, and he can just send one linebacker, but it's at the right place. The way he uses number 11, he's going to be all over the field. He puts his athletes in premier spots to make plays, and the guys play with great technique. They're hardly out of position. Well, you know, I think every coach, obviously, when you get to be a head coach at this stage, you have to play to your strengths. And I do believe everybody's different. You know, so some guys are X and O's guys, some guys are CEOs from the top level. It takes all kinds. I always felt that I was a people person. I always wanted to be in the mix. I wanted to be involved, but I wanted to be a team player. I was a team captain when I played. I do believe that recruiting is very important in college football. I enjoy recruiting. I enjoy meeting people. So that's the way we run our program. We say one team, one heartbeat. Everybody has a role. Nobody's role is more important than the other. I coach them within, not above, and it's working for us. Everybody feels in this organization that they're pulling on the same side of the rope, and that's important to winning. Yeah, I do. I feel at home. I always wanted to go recruit in Louisiana. And I've been at other schools, and I was comfortable in their homes too. But there's something about being from Louisiana, wearing the purple and gold, and going into a school or a home in the state of Louisiana. I feel like I'm at home. I feel like I can relate to the guys. If they talk Cajun French, I can talk to them. I probably know them. You know, I know their coach for sure, and there's relationships. What's happened for us in the last couple of years, when we go to a home and a home visit in Louisiana, it's not an official home visit, it's a party. I mean, there's 30, 40 people there, there's jambalaya, there's gumbo, there's food, there's music, and it's just a festivity. So that's a great part about being in Louisiana. You know, I think it all adds to it. Yeah, I really do. And I think those are the things you think about after the game. Those are the things that can get in the way before the game. It's considered in our mind a distraction. Block out the noise. It's going to come down to blocking and tackling, playing great for 60 minutes. Then after the game, I guess you have a couple of days to think about it, then you got to go recruiting. But it does. I'm honored to be here. Obviously, being from Louisiana, being the coach at LSU, and being from Cajun country, it means a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Tyler was the number one player in the state of Louisiana when we got him. He was a slim 390 when we got him. But Tyler's worked very hard, and he has. And he has a tremendous family. He's one of the first, I think he's the first home I went into as a head coach at LSU. And there was more gumbo in there than the law allows, I promise you. But it was a great day. And Tyler has a good heart. He's a good young man. But he's got down to about 345. Now, after one away trip, he was 359. I got on him. It ain't too much that trip. But he has really come along. He's a force. And the thing about Tyler is that he's still learning. He's still developing. But to get a guy that big and that quick is very, very odd. He's one of the most athletic linemen we've had here in a while. No, I don't know anything about that, and I leave those motivational tactics for the other team, and obviously he's done a great job, so I couldn't even tell you who those two guys are, to be honest with you, but I just know this, that it's going to be an emotional night when we do run out of tunnel. I believe it's going to be a home field advantage, but we have to take care of that. We have to use it to our advantage, and as you know, those fans are going to be fired up, but we have a saying, big plays fuel emotion. They're going to be looking for some big plays. If they don't get the big plays, they'll have some emotion the other way. We don't want to see that.
The way you beat Oklahoma in the semifinal, how do you prevent your team from being overconfident?
I think when your team knows, they know the opponent, they watch the film, and when you see Clemson, the way they make big plays on who we feel an outstanding Ohio State football team with some great players on that team, and to see Etienne running away from them, to see Travis running away from them, and them making big plays. You can tell your team all you want, but we have the big eye don't lie, and they see it on the tape. This is a very, very talented football team. Yeah.
Do you ever think back about how that has ran true and how that is kind of become the mantra of this season?
I'm glad it has. After that game that I said it, I felt that we finally matched them with the physicality and that we fell short in a couple of plays. So that's what I meant by that. And obviously they were the benchmark. And we had to get the players, get the coaches to be able to beat them to get here today. And we did it. And we're still coming. We still ain't backing down. And we still got a ways to go. We feel like we're just getting started. Yeah, I think it all played into each other. And that third down and 17 against Texas was a defining play in my mind in our season. It goes to show you that we have some big-time players, especially at the quarterback position, the receiver position, along with the protection, that can make plays in tight quarters, in a tight spot in the game. That was a big-time play in that game. If they get the ball back, no telling what happens. So I thought that that parlayed into beating Auburn, who I thought was a very good football team, Florida, Alabama, Georgia. Those were some really, really good football teams that we played this year. Yeah, it did. It did. I thought, for a while, I thought I was going to stay in the West Coast. It looked like I was going to be at USC for a long time. And we really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great place. It's something we really loved, me and my family. But when my boys came back, when we moved back, when we left Ole Miss, we had a chance to go to the Saints and the Cowboys. Obviously, I wanted to be with Sean Payton. I thought he was an excellent coach. But really, my kids wanted to live in Louisiana. And they wanted to live near their grandpa. And so the reason we moved back to Louisiana because our kids loved it. And then when I went back to USC, my kids wanted to stay in Louisiana. So that told me a lot about where my family wanted to be. And that way when that happened, we started gearing towards coming back to Louisiana. I'd have been happy just being the defensive line coach. I just wanted to be back at LSU.
Do you ever influence the conversation going on about, even with students, that opportunity there, that they could have had more time there, or Was that something you ever regretted that you
Yes, yeah, it was unfinished business, no question. I regretted it. There's no question. I did. Every time that I passed in that bridge going to Northwestern, although Northwestern was a good place for me, I just felt there was always unfinished business at LSU that I didn't give myself a chance to compete at the highest level like I should have. So I was a little disappointed in myself. So I wanted to get the chance to come back to LSU and prove myself.
Coach, when the playoff pairings were getting ready to be announced, there was all these arguments, this team's to be one, this team's to be one. Your message was pretty much, they won't play and be ready. How do you think the team is kind of embodying that?
I think that any place, anytime, anywhere, anybody. We can't control that stuff, man. All that's whatever we need to be. I'm not gonna say none of that. We need to. Hey, all that stuff goes out the window when that ball's kicked off. It's about blocking and tackling and players and coaches making the right plays. So those are the things we try to concern ourselves with. What is the social media policy? We say with our players, we tell them to be careful, obviously, to block out the noise. That's about the extent of it. I'm not going to stop that. I mean, we used to have a rule: you can't bring a phone in a meeting. Can you try to discipline that? So, but for me to tell them they can't do something during the season, I think that wouldn't work too well. Can I say one more thing? Hey, ma'am, you don't have to worry about me posting during the season. I tell you that. That's right. Derek does it. I think it means a lot. And you know what? That's why you coach at LSU. That's why you played at LSU, to represent the purple and gold and to represent this great state. We have a great relationship with the governor. We have a great relationship with everybody in the state. And all the high school coaches are so proud. And, I remember growing up and being 6 years old and watching LSU play and Charlie Mack play, and I remember what it did to the community. When the year I was off, I worked out at Franco's down there in Mandeville. And, man, look out when LSU won and when the Saints won. That whole city was on fire, so I know that's the way the state is. So we want to give back. It's a great state. It means a lot. No, I'm still thinking about how we're going to practice this afternoon. Thank you.
So much talk about Joe and the receivers, and for good reason. What
Yeah.
about Clyde? Kind of, Brent Venables called it the heart and soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would love your thoughts.
I say this all the time. Clyde walks in the room, he's 6'4", 270. That's the kind of persona he has. And listening to what I hear from other coaches, he's the hardest guy to game plan because he's a receiver in the backfield. But he's also a great running back. The things that he's done this season for our football team, not only on and off the field, makes him the heartbeat of our offense.
His height, he talked about his height and having a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
When you talked about the evaluation process,
Yeah.
what did you see, and do you see that chip still?
Yeah, we always liked Clyde. He reminded me of Maurice Jones-Drew, if you remember him. I had to go against him at UCLA. Now, Coach Miles had him committed, and he stayed with us, but we stayed with him too. We liked him and we fought for him. We always felt that Clyde was going to be a phenomenal player. Before anybody thought he was going to have this season, we loved him.
Coach, Barry Streisky, Sports Center Snapchat, your players watch our show, and they've been asking me, because today's my birthday, January 11th, I'm 33. My one wish, Coach O, is for me and you to put on hats, and can you just tell me happy birthday, Gary?
I got you. Let's go.
Yellow or purple?
I'm purple.
All right, I'll go yellow.
All right, you ready?
Hold on one moment, Coach.
Are you ready, big boy?
My name's Gary. I got a big head, too.
Gary?
Gary, yes, sir.
What do you think you said I got a big
No,
head?
I got a big head, Coach.
You said two.
We both got that. Coach,
You ready?
I didn't say that. Yes, sir.
You ready? Happy birthday, Gary.
Thank you, Coach O. Thank you, Coach O.
What's it like,
Phenomenal. Bill coached me in college. Bill got me into coaching. There was a situation where Dennis Johnson couldn't coach on the field. I needed him to coach because I was being the defensive line coach. And he came in there and did a tremendous job for us. He brings so much to school. He loves being here. He's from North Louisiana. He loves being at LSU. Tremendous, tremendous coach. Key, especially in transition. You know, we don't blink. We come here, everything's set up for us. Rooms are set up for us. Equipment's set up for us. Practice is set up for us. We feel like wherever we go, we're practicing at home. Those guys are tremendous. And I like it because they give our guys all this nice new gear. You got to talk to them. I still got this back from 1986 here. Talk to them. Huh? Who's that? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. You know, everybody deserves a second chance. You know, and we learn, we mature. That's why we need coaches. And, you know, I think that's why I feel like I'm a father-like figure to some guys, but I'm also a disciplinarian. I mean, we draw a line. If you cross the line, there's got to be some penalty. That's how Coach Goodman was. I crossed the line. He brought me in and said, don't cross it again. Guess what? I didn't. And so I'm very appreciative of that. I'm very appreciative of him drawing the line and make me do the right thing, because it taught me that I need to do the right thing.
Coach, do you think the rejection that Joe Burrow's dad, you got this?
You know, let me say this to you. I'm very appreciative of my time over there. I really am. I am. I learned a lot. I had a great opportunity there. It didn't work out, but you know what? It helped me be a better coach than I am today. So for that time, I'm appreciative of it.
Coach, that team being, I mean,
Say it again.
in that same, along those same lines, Rick Rhodes, off of your job, and it
Yeah.
unpaid. At
Phenomenal.
that point in your life, were you thinking,
I needed
am I
it.
ever going to get back into this?
Yes, it was critical. In fact, the day he called, I was thinking about going to get another job. It was that close. And Henry LaFleur, who was down to buy, went and talked to Coach Rhodes. He gave me an opportunity. Now it was it was for me to volunteer, but I had to prove myself. I stayed with him for a year. He hired me as linebacker coach during that year. And then the next year, I got a chance to go to Syracuse with Paul Pasqualoni, who's another guy that gave me a shot at Division I football. So for those guys along the way, I'm very appreciative, but also did a good job for them too.
What would you have been doing? What other jobs? I mean, I can't imagine you're not coaching football. What
You know, I hate to think about that. I just never let my mind go that far. I was going to coach football regardless. Was that? Winter, obviously. You know, I've called some high school coaches in Georgia, and they talk about his legend over there. And one of the coaches that coached me in college, John Thompson, was one of the few guys to ever beat him. So he's been letting me know that. But anyway, a winner, very quick release, very well coached, outstanding feet, knows to go over the ball, can run. I think that when you look at the Ohio State game, he took that game in his hands. He was going to win that football game. They down, 14, 16 nothing, 16 nothing. He's going to win that game. You can see it in his eyes. Yeah. Well, you know, it seemed like we got every award in the country, and we're very appreciative of that, but I was a little worried going into the Oklahoma game. I didn't tell nobody that, but you hear about all that, you know what I'm saying? Didn't happen. It just shows you the character of this football team. So I think all those things aside, I do believe that our football team is very focused on winning the football game and doing the things that it takes to win the football game, to beat a very good Clemson team, and not thinking about what size ring they're going to get, what they're going to do, who's going pro, what's happening to this. That we are totally focused in on the task at hand. That's made this football team what they are today. Did I answer your question? Good thing.
having this game?
Love it.
Fans, any big meals?
Love it. Yeah, we had gumbo, fried chicken, macaroni and cheese last night. All the family was there. We loved it. I ate about 4 bowls. It was good. It was good. But you know what? Just to show up at the hotel and to see all the fans there, just to hear them when we walk out here, going down. When we left Baton Rouge neighborhoods, there was hundreds of people in front of the neighborhoods, and to seeing the little kids. So understand the magnitude of this football game and what it means to them and who we represent.
And does it feel like a home game?
Was that?
Does it feel like home?
Yeah, it sure does. Sure does. Joe, what? Yeah, but he missed 2 plays to Justin Jefferson, right? Yeah, he wasn't satisfied. You know, he throws 8 touchdowns, and he said, you know, he didn't feel like he played his best game. That's him. I'll give you an example. Joe Burrow is best. We have a tradition here at LSU that we carry the seniors off the field for their last practice. Joe Burrow told the quarterbacks, if any of you try to carry me off the field, I'm going to whip your... and he walked off the field. So that's Joe Burrow for you. You know, it's always going to be about the team. I don't let that stuff get to me. You know, that'd be selfish. It'd be something that's not part of our team. Now, to see the joy in the kids' face, to see the joy in our team's face when we win, to see the elation in the people of Louisiana, that means the world to me. And I'm more of a giver, and I just like to see all the people happy, and I know how much it means to them. So it puts a little internal motivation in myself to win it for the people of Louisiana. But as far as myself, I'm just happy being the head coach at LSU every day. I was hoping we could get Sean Payton, but the change, I think Sean's a genius, and I really like him. And we don't have Sean Payton, but we have one that's very, very good, and Joe Brady. And you know, we wanted to study the red zone offense under Pete Carmichael, who Greg McMahon knows very well. And then we asked if y'all know anything about the RPOs, and they brought in a young guy named Joe Brady. The guy was phenomenal in his approach, and the coaches told me that. That also brought their personnel people. So I was in the personnel meeting. So we kept up with Joe, and then we did our research. We had some people at the Saints told us he was an up-and-coming star. I had some Kevin Rogers, who I worked with at Syracuse, coached it with him at a younger age. He's an up-and-coming star. We took him, and they were right. What was that? That's exactly what we need, because that was his offense. He loved it. And, thank God we had Joe for 2 years. Most graduate transfers you only have for 1 year. So in the other offense, he didn't flourish. In this offense, he flourished. So there was development on his part. It was part scheme, part calling. I think it all worked out perfectly. Well, it's today's Thursday, and Saturday it's at 7 o'clock, 7:15 Central Standard Time, 3:30 p.m. on Monday, whatever date it is. I'm thinking that's Saturday. We will have a coaches meeting, and I will have made that decision at 3:29.
How's Clyde's health?
Well,
How's Clyde's health?
he looked pretty good yesterday. I think he's 100% healthy. I feel good about it. Well, Damon's good. Damon's good. He's practiced, a little sore after practice. But as far as handling the workload, he handled everything. He can cut. He's doing everything. I think he's going to be as close to 100% as we can ask him to be. Love it. Love it, yes. We, and really, the accommodations there were great. but we felt like we were inside the whole week, which we were. It was good to practice at home. Our guys needed a break from being in the hotel. I think this is the perfect state. You know, you don't know till you go through it that adversity makes you stronger. Now, you ain't wanting it when it's happened, man. It don't feel good. But when you look back, you figure out, you know what? Through that adversity, I grew. I changed. I got better here and better there. I think the competitive fire that you see in Joe, although he doesn't say it, that has a lot to do with it. I think the competitive fire you see in me, past failures, have internal motivation. It makes you better. It makes you hungry. You know, we there was never a doubt that Joe was going to be a really good quarterback for us, but being a Heisman just never entered our mind. It really didn't. All we wanted to do was win games and have a good quarterback, and he exceeded all our expectations. Yeah. I think having the second year with us, you know, most graduate transfers only there for a year. Changing the offense, the spread, having Joe Brady, having the lookovers on offense to where we can change the play and have the right play dialed up and giving them great receivers. And, you know, we changed our protection. We're not the same. We're more spread out. So there's more choices for them. I think all those are a combination of things. Yes. I did believe we could win every game. After what I saw in the spring, I looked at our schedule. I didn't tell anybody this, but I said with the teams that we played at home, I thought we had to have a great home schedule, which we did. I think Auburn and Florida, our home crowd won that game for us along with our team. And if we could go on the road and beat Alabama, which I thought we could, we'd have a chance at the national championship. He does what? Yeah. You know, it all depends on us, what we need, who's available. It's been good for us. Cole Tracy and Joe Burrow have been good for us. So. I don't know. I'm just glad I got the call. Clyde's 6'4", 270. He walks in the room. That's who he is. He has a big heart. He's hard to tackle. He's explosive out the backfield, catching the ball. He's hard to defend. I think that when Clyde is not in there, we're very predictable. When he's in there, you can't overplay the run. You can't overplay the pass. You have to be balanced on defense, and that enables all the other guys to make plays. Get fired up. I may drink a couple monsters of Red Bull. It made it Saturday. It may. Yeah, I said my New Year's resolution is eat less, and it won't happen, and it hadn't happened. Guaranteed. Huge. It made the whole difference in our season. It made the difference in Joe Burrow. Usually, as you know, you only have for 1 year. Now, we'd have took him for 1 year, okay? That's no question. But after last year, he was a good player. But being an assistant for 2 years, the great player. But it lets you know how smart he is to graduate from Ohio State in 3 years. it says a lot about that young man. There's a lot of things that go into when you evaluate a transfer, especially a graduate transfer, and they're rare to graduate in 3 years. So we got the whole package with Joe. We got lucky that we got him the second year.
Try to eat less. What's the hardest food to try to eat less of?
Well, here's what happened. You with the team, we always eat. It's buffet. And then rice and gravy is me. Once I start eating any type of rice and gravy, whether it's an etouffee, it's a gumbo, jambalaya, spaghetti, it don't matter. I can't discriminate on anyone. Winner. He took that game in his own hands. Him and Travis, Etienne took that game in his own hands against Ohio State. And they say, hey, we're going to win this thing. Now, he has a quick release. He sets his feet well on the RPOs, makes great decisions. But his ability to run the football, he's 6'6", 220. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he is an athlete out there. He's tough at all get up. I think they're very similar. I think he's probably bigger. Joe's not 6'6", bigger. They do a little bit more running with them. Their tight end stays in most of the time on their protections. We more of a spread. They more of an RPO team, but they both throw the deep ball, and make great decisions. His heart. The game that he played against Alabama. He just took that game in his hands and we won it. Clyde is a great young man. The way he practices, the way he carries himself, his character, his grit. To throw all that other stuff out the way, man. There's a lot of great backs I've been around. Clyde's one of my all-time favorites. It's about the trunk. It's not about the height. And look, he was already committed with Coach Miles. So so I didn't find him, but we kept him and we liked him. And he reminded me of Maurice Jones-Drew at UCLA when I was at USC because of the trunk. And those guys are hard to tackle. They're hard to see. Now, Clyde has developed. The thing that I'm most pleased with is not his running ability, his ability to catch the ball out in the backfield. I think that's where he's made the most improvement. If there are 6,000, it'll be 5,999. I think they're coming, and I'm glad they are. I wish I could have got them all tickets. I can't, but we're going to have a big condition, and I'm very proud of them. And if they're not, I know they're going to be watching on TV. Yeah. First of all, thanks for recognizing that because that was the blueprint. That was the blueprint in my mind. There's no question about it. The things that I learned under Coach Carroll and also the things I learned under Coach Johnson and Coach Erickson at Miami. And I thought we had the most prolific offense in the world, and I always wanted that offense. I never dreamed that we would shatter all those records. But it just goes to show you, like you said, that's from a pro-style offense to a spread. That's the reason Steve and I went. We're both pro-style guys, but you can't score enough points, in our opinion, in the pro game, in the pro-style offense. So we went to the spread, and look what happened. Well, obviously, it helps. And I do believe you have to have a great quarterback to win a championship. I think that that's the standard, that's the benchmark. The way the offenses are going and scoring points, you have to score a lot of points. Now, this game may be different, but I think the national championships are 13-10 are going to be few and far between.
Coach,
phenomenal. And it started off in the summer. You know, Terrence came. He had an injury in high school. He got great condition in the summer. Was having a phenomenal year, and then got banged up a little bit, but was fought back. He's a big target, especially in the red zone. Joe really likes him. I think the best thing about our receivers is that all of them have specific skills, and we use them at their best. And Joe knows exactly where to go with the football. When the play is called, he knows who's their favorite route, favorite play, and Terrence is one of them. I did talk to him. I did. Yeah, he did. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but he did. And it just so happened that we were calling the state champion high school coaches just to congratulate them on winning a state championship. And I called one of high school to say, Coach, you know your old coach is one of the last defensive coordinators to beat Trevor. I said, well, I'm going to give him a call. And he did give me some advice, and I passed it on to Dave, and we'll see if it works.
Hey, Coach O, you mind if I borrow you for 1 second,
man.
Coach?
You're not going to make me wear one of the skinny hats, are you?
Hey, Coach, I heard about this cookie policy you used to have at USC. And when you took over, you let the linemen have cookies. Coach,
That's
I
right.
just want to ask one question. Why haven't we had cookies in our meetings yet?
You give a lineman a cookie, you make him happy. What do you mean? You got cookies on the training table?
We did. My fault. Appreciate it, Coach. Appreciate it, Coach.
Hey, I got a question to ask you.
Oh, go ahead, Coach.
Will you tell me about that new bowling technique that you have?
Coach, it's just coming out my hips and just letting that ball fly down the alley, Coach.
Well, how many bounces has got to take before you get a strike?
I'm not a big mathematician, but if I can bounce it once in between the first hit and the pins, I know I can get something down, Coach.
All right, man.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you so
All
much.
right, man. Amen. Yeah, no question. Yeah. I give him all the glory. No question. I couldn't have wrote a better script. Couldn't have even tried it. You know, I remember we went to Macaroni Grill, me and Pastor Steve. And he asked me what I wanted to do. And we wrote the plan on a napkin. And I didn't have a job at Macaroni Grill. And the plan has come true, I can say that. And even better. So I give him all the credit, all the glory, and that's why I try to live my life on a daily basis. Just give it to him and see what happens. What's up, man? How you been? Good to see you.
We got to get you to come over there.
That's right, man. That's right. Good.
We got a program
Yeah,
over there.
yeah, that's right. We got a good
The
deal.
Large Foundation.
Oh yeah,
is in
okay.
May.
Good deal. I'll come. Good deal.
It's during that week of the SEC.
Good deal. Good deal.
Anyway, Coach, what do you see from Trevor Lawrence? I know
Winner, obviously. He took the game in his hand against Ohio State. He gonna win that game. Him and Travis Etienne said, we winner. They're gonna make plays and win it. But his footwork, his releases, his RPOs, his decision-making process. But I think you had that, his ability to run the football. Yeah, I mean, that was surprising to me. To see his speed at 6'6", 220. The other coach would have him play defensive end, rushing the passer.
I think you got a pretty good one on your side, too.
Yeah, we do. They're very similar. They're very similar.
Now you're with the set the screen.
Very similar. All right, man. How you doing? Thank you, man. You know, I do believe watching Ronnie Estee play, I do believe we shut out Notre Dame 3-0 or something like that. Irish Jew for LSU in the newspaper the next day. Estee had like 4 goal line stops, 12 tackles. Now, he was from LaRose. And, I mean, it was the talk of the town for 10 years, maybe, or still. You know, and I remember just, wow, man, wow, if I could ever be a part of something like that. So, and then I just love the way the Tigers play. I just like those gold helmets going to the ball. Yeah. First of all, I think he's one of best college football players ever. He changed the way we do things in the SEC. He's one of them. He's a pioneer. He has a great family. I remember 2 years ago we were playing them, and my first recollection of his first pass, it was the quickest release I'd seen in 35 years of football. Now, you can practice it, the ball, till you see it, it's something else. So, a tremendous competitor, always handles himself with first class. I can't say that I'm sorry that he's not coming back. I'm not going to tell you that. But he meant a lot for football. I think he's going to be a tremendous pro. I hope he stays healthy and has a great year. And, you know, for his family to move from Hawaii to United States and to have success that they have, I think it's a great story.
What about that Alabama game? Won in LSU 2018 and breaking the streak this year. How much did that matter, especially in this moment?
Oh, it does. It does. The one in 2018 didn't matter much because we didn't play well. We got beat 29-0, and we did not play well. But that game, you know, adversity makes you better. That's the time that me and Ismail decided we're going to the spread. After that, the day after that, we said we're going to the spread, and so that was a significant game in our history together. Obviously, the game this year, you have to beat them. No question. When you was at LSU, you hear it every day. You hear it at the store. You hear it everywhere, and you have to beat them. And they're great. And you know, and in order to get great, you have to beat the great teams. So that was a significant win in our season. What?
It was a good game.
Yeah, it was.
Quick question. You said when you were going on your recruiting visits that you were going to have probably 18 to 22 bowls of dumbbells. If you had to estimate, how many did you eat?
You know, that week I probably had 18 to 22. Might have been an exaggeration, but at least 16.
At least 16. Is your favorite seafood or chicken and sausage?
Yeah, that's hard. I like eggs in my gumbo with both seafood. Not a lot of people put eggs in their gumbo. I like filet in my gumbo. If I had a preference, it'd be chicken and sausage, but seafood is a close second.
Appreciate your time.
Was that? Well, you know, I was working at LaFouche Telephone Company, and the year I left at LSU, and he called me and said, "Hey, man, you want a scholarship to Northwestern State?" And I said, "Hell yeah. Where's Northwestern at?" I didn't know where it was at. But he sent the coaches down there, and then me and him were teammates. We were roommates. Bobby was a motivator. Bobby had gotten into the flow of college. He understood the discipline that it took. So I think he helped me get my feet started at Northwestern and kind of showed me the ropes. And me and Bobby's always been good friends. I've always admired Bobby for his competitive attitude. Bobby was one of the toughest guys on our football team, and we believed in him. You know, he infected another way. It was 4th down, I believe it was 27, and we're losing the game to Bonneville, and he makes a touchdown pass, and we won a state championship. So those are good memories. Yeah.
So, what was the driving force behind organizing some of those workouts? Was it assistants? Was it certain players?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we have 2 hours in the summer where we can do skill position stuff with our guys. Okay. But after that, the players decided to stay out an hour and a half later and to work out on their own. And they did it all summer. And thank you for recognizing that, because I do believe that is how we can have so much success, especially putting in a new offense. Our guys had to dedicate their time. And I think that's one of the things that goes unnoticed, unsaid. How many Saturdays they spent working out on their own. Player-only practices, and it was led by Joe Burrow. But it was also stoked by coaching staff. Obviously, it was voluntary, but it was, if y'all want to get great, this is what other great teams do. And those guys, their leadership decided to do it. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Coach Craig has done a tremendous job with that line, but, Lloyd is the one that had them working out. Because I'd hear Lloyd tell them, hey, man, they think we're a question mark. We ain't going to be no question mark. So he was always motivating those guys. I think the leadership that you see in each group, you got guys like Clyde, like Joe, like Justin, like Thaddeus Moss, like Lloyd, like D-Lou. Players love D-Lou. And he likes Mr. Goodbars too, right? Yeah.
Did he tell you that he was making everyone come in and do this, or did he just go out?
Joe's a different cat now. Joe is driven. Joe is driven. We sang Coach Moffitt happy birthday last night. He wasn't big in singing happy birthday. He wanted to go watch film. Joe's very driven.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you, guys. God bless you.